Welcome. What we are stepping into isn't a little nudge from the universe. This is a major push. A moment where courage meets responsibility, where we're not only dreaming bigger, but we're being asked to build that framework that will make our dreams real. We're stepping into a time that demands more from us, but also promises more. More strength, more clarity, and more opportunity to step fully into the life we have been envisioning. So let's talk about Saturn and Aries. Hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. I guess I could tell you what channel we're on. But we're not doing tarot today. We're just doing the astrology. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your unwavering support. And today we'll be talking about the energy that will bring in the change of who we are and where we're going. Over the next 2.5 years, we will be experiencing Saturn in Aries, and it's my hope that by the end of our time here together, you are now equipped with knowledge, wisdom, tools to aid you to embrace this energy. That it gives you confidence, that it gives you clarity, that it brings in love. So that you can go forward with the strength. Go forward to make your dreams come true. Now, if you need more information than this, and I think you do, visit my site. Okay, I've got a blog out there, and I'll leave the description, or I'll leave the link in the description box before. Okay, here we're talking about the collective energy. So what's happening worldwide? We'll be able to see this as we look into our environments, into the world, into our countries and our towns and the people we hang out with. But in my blog, I've added a brief write-up for each of the zodiac signs. So I will leave the link for you below. And I covered some of this in May 24th, 2025, the Daily Focus, your horoscope for the day. So you can also watch that. That has even more information. Okay, Saturn. Saturn represents responsibility and discipline and structure. And it's about creating long-term goals and having the patience to work towards them. So Saturn brings in wisdom to know what works in the long run. And it encourages us to take things step by step. However, Saturn is also about boundaries, limitations, and teaching us where we need to apply focus and effort to overcome the challenges we face. Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, where we begin our journey with Saturn throughout the next 30 years. Okay, Saturn enters Aries on the 24th of May, and then it'll eventually enter a retrograde period, and then it'll go backwards and re-enter Pisces. I believe that happens September 1st. And then by the end of November, Saturn will station direct and return to Aries by mid-February of 2026. And then Saturn will call Aries its home until 2028, I think sometime mid-April. And then it'll take roughly 30 years to come around and return to Aries again. So it's the beginning of the chapter. So Aries is all about self-assertion, independence, action. It's a fire sign. It's known for starting new projects, boldness, courage. However, we have to remember that Aries can also be very impulsive and quick to jump into action without really thinking of any kind of long-term consequences. Now, the energy of Saturn in Aries will challenge us, okay? It'll demand that we balance our quick action with patience and self-discipline. So we kind of have to find that happy medium somewhere throughout this 2.5-year walk. Saturn in Aries gives us the strength to take action, but with the necessary planning, okay, to make the structure to ensure that we can maintain the momentum and achieve our goals over a period of time. So we're not rushing here. We're really, in fact, backing up a little bit and thinking about our every step or every move a little bit more. So don't overthink, okay, because we can do that to ourselves as well. But we will feel this surge of confidence, this urgency to take control of our life. We're being asked to step into our personal power and to own our desires, our dreams. It's a time to assert ourselves and take responsibility for our choices, meet our obligations. And on top of that, we're going to be urged to focus on the long-term results rather than the short bursts of some kind of impulsive action. There's so much to say about this. We will feel strong desires to make some very bold moves. And Aries, is going to push us. It's going to make us want to jump into action. And Saturn is there to say, wait a minute. And it'll help us to pave the way. And with Saturn involved, we're willing to work harder for what we want. And we will feel frustrations. We will feel impatience, especially if our goals aren't manifesting as quickly as we'd like. So this is where we'll be taught the value of patience and discipline, reminding us that we can't rush success or look for shortcuts. But Saturn can also encourage us. It can encourage us to be more assertive and more direct in our relationships. We may feel a stronger urge to speak up, to set boundaries, healthy boundaries, and take control of our interactions, who we interact with, what we say, how long we stay for, or more about how it affects us. So be careful of that as well, right? Because we can become very self-centered under this energy. Everything's about me. But this energy is great if we embrace it, if we use it constructively for building healthier, more independent relationships. So set intentions to take responsibility for our role in our relationships, whether it's standing up for our needs or respecting their needs. Okay, it's a time to set healthy boundaries and grow our self-empowerment. Grow our self-empowerment in how we relate to others. And be mindful of becoming too independent or distancing yourself. Okay, we're going to have this tendency to prioritize our own desires before anything else. Or we'll become too focused on asserting our will, what we want, our own way. When it comes to work and career, we need to take the initiative. Absolutely, we'll be pushed into taking the initiative, asserting our presence, charging forward with a sense of purpose. This is a time to take a leadership role or take on some more responsibility. Okay, we'll feel a very strong urge to make our mark in this world, to push for recognition, to begin something new in our professional lives, perhaps. And if you've been wanting to start a business or launch a project or shifting industries or jobs over the next several years, I can almost guarantee you're going to be taking that leap in some way, in some form. But Saturn demands patience. Aries wants instant results, and we will struggle. We will struggle with impatience. Absolutely. Especially if progress is slower than we expected, or we don't feel like we're being seen for what we bring to the table. Okay, and so we take on so much more and we think so much more, and guess what? We can get burnt out so much faster. So, pace yourself, set time limits for yourself. I mean, it's a good time to commit to financial discipline, paying down our debts, securing future wealth. But there can also be a tendency to be very impulsive with our financial decisions. We have to have it in the now. So be very careful and see if that really works into your plan. Lean on Saturn to say, should I make this purchase today? Should I wait 30 days? Should I put my my credit card in a little baggie and fill it with water and freeze it so I can't use it? But nowadays we have, the internet, so you can just order it online. It's already got our card. We can read through the ice. As Saturn enters Aries, we are stepping into a very powerful moment of personal transformation and empowerment. This energy urges us to take bold action, assert our independence, embrace new beginnings with a sense of purpose, a sense of responsibility. It's time to take control of our lives. That is what we will be taught, to take control of our life, to build the foundations of our future, to commit to a long-term goal or two that requires both discipline and courage. With Saturn in Aries, we're called to break free from the old limitations, step into the role of self-leadership, leading ourselves down the path, not waiting for anybody to nod approval. We do it unapologetically. And whether it's your career or relationships, your own personal growth, now is the time to assert yourself, to make those decisions and lay the groundwork for a stable and empowered future. And yes, while there'll be moments where we will be impatient and we will have self-doubt, trust that with consistent effort, we will build something lasting and true to who we are becoming, to where we are going. So embrace the energy of Saturn in Aries. Embrace it as an invitation to commit to our vision, our dream, to stand strong in our independence, to trust in our ability to transform. This next chapter is ours to create. So step forward with confidence and take the actions that will shape your future going forward. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.